NFL Insider issued a warning about Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns quarterback room. And also, a former Cleveland Browns player put his thoughts in on the quarterback position for the Cleveland Browns. You're talking about Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. We getting ready to talk about it all right here on Sports Talk with B. Watts. Let's get this show started. Let's go.
See you sitting there, Shedeur. I'm talking about divine opportunity. 30-something team passed you over. Then they put you fourth on the depth chart. But they made one mistake. God gave you an opportunity. I wish I had somebody. And now that they've given you an opportunity, can't nobody close that door because you stood in that pocket like an old school player, brother. Oh, my God. They done messed up and gave them an opportunity. I'm not just talking to Shedeur. I'm talking to all the saints. If there's anybody here, all you need is somebody to block, and you'll throw the ball. I wish I had somebody. God's getting ready to open up a door that no man can close.
NFL Insider over there on ESPN, Dan, he letting people know his thoughts about the Cleveland Browns quarterback position when it comes to Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson. Let's listen to Dan to see what he had to say. Dan G, let's go.
We're in year one of a program with a new head coach. I don't know why we're going backwards with Deshaun Watson.
Just sort of reading tea leaves and talking to people, I think the most likely scenario here is he begins the offseason and likely begins the season as the starter. I know the owner, Jimmy Haslam, had something to say about Deshaun Watson and having a great chance. Deshaun Watson's played a total of 19 games the last 5 years. He's under contract for one more year. They basically have to have him on the roster at this point. If they were to cut Deshaun Watson, it'd be $131 million in dead money. They know Deshaun Watson's not the long-term answer. They probably know Dylan Gabriel's not. So I do know that head coach candidates, when they interviewed with the Browns, were being asked, what would you think if we went with Shedeur Sanders as the starter?
That's Dan over there on ESPN letting you know his thoughts about the quarterback position for the Cleveland Browns concerning Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders. Now, when we look at this quarterback competition that's getting ready to come up, the team, they report to off-season program this Tuesday of this week, Tuesday, 2 days from now. And the big question is, who will be the starting quarterback for Todd Monken this year of the Cleveland Browns? Todd Monken explained where does Shedeur Sanders fit in today's NFL game. Let's listen to what he had to say. I'm reading from an article who interviewed him. Speaking recently to the media, Monken was asked about growing importance of the quarterback mobility and how the traits factors into players' evaluation. The Browns head coach, Todd Monken, made it clear that movement skills matter, but only as part of a much bigger picture. Most coaches would have an affinity for a quarterback that are mobile, but they also have an affinity for quarterbacks that can complete passes and are really good on third down and in the 2-minute warning. He continued by emphasizing that while mobility helps, it should not be treated as the only meaningful traits of a quarterback. So it certainly benefits you to have a mobile quarterback, but ultimately, that's just a piece of it. He continues. Finally, Monken brought the conversation directly back to Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, offering perhaps the clearest public view yet of how he sees the young quarterback physically. Players that are not considered less mobile 15 years ago would have been considered mobile. That honest evaluation comes at a time when Shedeur remained the most intriguing option in a Browns quarterback room full of uncertainty. Deshaun Watson has not played since 2024 and still trying to recover both physically and professionally. So when you look at Shedeur Sanders, when you look at Todd Monken, people are trying to look at Todd Monken when he said he likes a mobile quarterback, and they referring to Lamar Jackson. When Todd Monken was the offensive coordinator, the play caller in Baltimore, they looking at Lamar Jackson, the way he moves, the way he run the ball, and they consider Todd Monken want somebody like that, but that's not the case. You got to dig deeper into Todd Monken's background when he was the head coach at Southern Miss. He didn't have no quarterback like Lamar Jackson. Go back to the University of Georgia. He had a walk-on quarterback, Stetson Bennett, and won 2 national championships. He wasn't no Lamar Jackson. There's not many quarterbacks out there like Lamar Jackson. It just ain't. Let's keep it real. Nobody out there going to be able to play that quarterback position like Lamar Jackson have played in the past and playing right now at his level. It's just not, y'all. So when you look at Shedeur this past season and you saw the way he was moving, escaping, climbing the pocket, getting to the second level, running for a first down on third down, and also standing in the pocket to complete passes on third down. That's what a coach wants. That's what Shedeur did. That's why I know Shedeur will be the better quarterback for the Cleveland Browns going forward this year. And Todd Monken knows that. He was interviewed for that. He was interviewed. They want to know, can you develop Shedeur Sanders? And let's listen to a former Cleveland Browns player talk about this quarterback situation. Let's go. Hans for Dixon.
Jimmy's lost a lot of money with Deshaun Watson.
Right.
Deshaun hasn't done a damn thing for this football team. Let's just face it. Got to tell Shedeur that he is the starting quarterback. Now, you know as well as I do, during training camp, if Deshaun, for some reason, is all of a sudden just started to blossom, be that quarterback that he thought he was going to be when we gave him all that money, you could tell that. I mean, you could see him coming around. Well, but right now, it's got to be Shedeur's job to lose. And again, you call one name. I mean, Dylan, again, I hate to go back and talk about it, but shit, it'd take me 5 minutes to realize he could play and waste a third-round pick on him. I would hate to see Shedeur have to go through what he went through last year. You had Dylan Gabriel, I mean, for instance, ahead of him, taking the reps that this guy should have been taking in order to get ready. I mean, I would hate to see him have to go to something like that all over again. Like I said, I would like to see him named as a starting quarterback. I would like to see him getting the majority of the reps.
That's the former Cleveland Brown, Hans for Dixon, right there on his podcast, letting you know how he feels about this quarterback situation with the Cleveland Browns. I'm telling y'all, Shedeur Sanders will be a better quarterback this year up under Todd Monken. Todd Monken's going to bring out the best in Shedeur Sanders because the general manager, along with the coaching staff, have been putting pieces around Shedeur so far this year. That offensive line is the most important part of this offense going forward for Shedeur Sanders this year in 2026. A better offensive line, run the ball, get him in short distance, third and short, and then you're going to see Shedeur operate at his finest. This probably going to be the best offensive line Shedeur Sanders has ever played up on. I'm telling you, and you're going to see a difference in his game. This is his second year. He got a chance to start the last 7 games to get a feel of the game, to get used to the speed of the game, and now we finna see the best of Shedeur Sanders. He in the gym, he working out, getting his body right, and I'm telling you right now, if they add some more pieces, especially at that wide receiver position, Shedeur Sanders gonna cook. He gonna cook, and I'm telling you right now, he gonna be the top of the league next year. This year coming up. This year coming up in 2026, Shedeur Sanders starting for franchise right here. Got a live show tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Come on back and check us out. Me and Uncle Steve will be going one-on-one. Steve going one-on-one with the great one, B. Wallace. Yeah, tonight. Come on back and be our special guest. We talking about Shedeur Sanders, and we're going to talk about the Colorado football team. All right? It's a 1-hour show. We hope to see you there. All right? Peace. And also, happy Easter to each and one of you out there. All right? Yeah.